You know, something really strange is happening in our kitchens. We think we're in control of what's for dinner, but there's an invisible chef that's increasingly calling the shots. An algorithmic chef powered entirely by data.
So to really get what's going on here, let me tell you a story. It all starts at this one restaurant in Copenhagen.
And this restaurant serves food you literally cannot taste. And it's not because the food is bad or anything. The reason is actually way stranger. It's because the food, well, it doesn't actually exist yet. See, the menu is written by an algorithm that predicts viral food trends months before they happen. The chef cooks what the algorithm tells him to, and get this, every single time the algorithm has been right. They aren't guessing, they're calculating what you'll want to eat before you even know it yourself.
Okay, so this predictive power isn't just happening in some fancy restaurant. It's happening in our own homes right now. And one simple chicken dish, well, it perfectly explains this whole new food economy.
Let's talk about Marry Me Chicken. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward dish. Chicken, creamy tomato sauce, nothing revolutionary. But its explosion in popularity wasn't organic. It wasn't launched by some celebrity chef on TV. Nope, it was chosen by an algorithm. And the scale here is just, it's staggering. 412 million Google searches in 2024. That is more than the entire population of the United States, all hunting down this one specific recipe because an algorithm decided, hey, it's your moment.
And this has a massive real-world impact. When a recipe like that goes viral, sales for the key ingredients just skyrocket. Rao's marinara saw a 63% jump. And this isn't a one-off thing either. Sales of gochujang in the US shot up 240%, driven almost entirely by algorithms pushing Korean recipes into our feeds.
So how does this actually work, right? Let's pull back the curtain and meet the chef behind all this, the algorithm itself, which, frankly, is getting scarily good at predicting our cravings.
The process itself is surprisingly straightforward. Every single time you interact with food content, a video you watch, one you skip, a recipe you save, that's a data point. The system tracks all of it, builds this incredibly detailed profile of your tastes, and then uses that data to predict and influence not just you, but millions of other users who are just like you.
But it gets even deeper. The major recipe websites, they're now personalizing what you see without even telling you. You and I could look up the exact same dish, but if your browsing history hints that you might be vegetarian, the ingredients on your screen will just silently swap out. So you're not seeing the recipe, you're seeing your recipe. Wild, right?
And this tech isn't just staying on our screens, it's moving right into our kitchen appliances. Smart ovens now literally watch your food with a camera and adjust the cooking time for you. Alexa can invent a recipe from scratch, on the spot, just based on what you have in your fridge. The crucial point is, the algorithm is no longer just a suggestion engine. It's basically becoming a co-pilot in your actual kitchen.
Okay, so you'd think with all this technology and all this access, our diets would be getting more diverse and exciting, right? But it's actually having the exact opposite effect. It's creating this really strange paradox.
This is really the core of it. We have the entire world's culinary history right at our fingertips, but as a population, our diets are becoming less varied. We're all kind of being guided down the same algorithmically approved dinner paths.
And you can see exactly how this whole synchronization thing builds. An average person might try, say, 4 new recipes a year, but those same 4 recipes were probably seen by 47 million other people. This has enormous real-world consequences. It's changing what farmers plant, like sesame in California. And it's creating entire industries like oat milk. And boom, a $4.3 billion industry is born, practically overnight.
And here's the part that might be a little tough to swallow. The food that succeeds in this system isn't necessarily the most delicious or the most nutritious. It's the most photogenic. It's food that's literally engineered for an 8-second video, prioritizing things like dramatic cheese pulls and crazy layers because that's what gets engagement. That's what the algorithm wants. But, it's not all bad. We have to make a distinction here between genuine food trends and something else the algorithm pushes, which is basically just content.
Oh man, remember these? Dalgona coffee, cloud bread, pancake cereal. These were content trends, not food trends. Millions of people made them exactly once for a photo or a video, realized they didn't actually taste that great, and then a lot of that food just got thrown away. The whole point wasn't to have a good meal, it was to get a good post.
On the flip side, this technology can be incredibly, genuinely helpful. AI meal planners have been shown to reduce food waste by a ton. There are apps that can scale any recipe perfectly in an instant. And for people with really complex dietary needs, AI is a total game changer, helping to create amazing food that just wasn't possible before.
So, let's zoom out for a second. Beyond just what's for dinner, what are the bigger implications here? Because this isn't just about food, it's about culture and what happens when that culture gets filtered through a platform.
What we're seeing is this fundamental shift. For centuries, food culture was passed down vertically, from parent to child, from one generation to the next. It was slow, it was personal, and it was deeply connected to a specific place. But now, it's all horizontal. It's distributed instantly, globally, and pretty impersonally, all across these platforms.
A food anthropologist put it in a way that it really stuck with me. They said, we're the first generation trying to crowdsource taste. Think about that. Instead of inheriting our palate, we're building it from the most popular data points online.
And all of this, everything we've talked about, leads to one final, really fascinating contradiction that we just have to unpack.
So the data shows something really weird. Even as this cooking content has absolutely exploded online, the number of meals we actually cook for ourselves at home has dropped pretty significantly. We are obsessed with watching food being made more than ever before, but we ourselves are actually cooking less.
So the next time the algorithm serves you up exactly what you want to eat, just ask yourself, who taught it to know me that well, and am I okay with that?